What's good, everyone? Marcus back again. This is my second to last week, 13 days before my competition. Today is my last heavy squat day of the peaking phase. I do have squat, bench, and deadlift all of next week from Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but those are technique sets at lighter weight, so I'm not too worried about that week. Today, though, I am aiming for a top set of 355, which I hope goes well because that will be right about where my second attempt is on competition day. The equivalent from kilos ends up being something like 353. Nonetheless, I'm feeling pretty good. It's Monday. With day one of the week, I'm always feeling my best after having had the weekend off to recuperate. Done all my stretches, warm-ups, a little bit of yoga, all my mobility exercises. I'm feeling pretty decent, so I'm optimistic again starting this week off. So far, things are going well with the warm-ups, not just in regards to the knee feeling okay, but also with the progression, working my way up to my first, second, and third attempts. Since today, my top single is at 355, which would be roughly around my second attempt. Instead of stopping at my last warm-up at 305 for one, I'm moving on to another warm-up at 330 for one, which would be my first attempt. So today I'm doing my warm-ups, first attempt, hopefully a successful second attempt, and I know how I'll feel on meet day.
Break it to the top while I am messing up the numbers. Though I'm drowning, I can stop it, 'cause I just...
Alright, so that went pretty well. Slower than I would like, but that's because I'm really focusing on controlling the descent, since I found out with my 195 warm-up that when I descend too quickly, that sharp pain in my knee comes back. Once I control the descent, I can eliminate the pain. And sure enough, for all of my warm-ups since, including my first attempt, which was the last warm-up at 330, no pain. This last top single at 355, zero pain. So that slower descent helps, but of course it takes more energy. So it was a little bit of a grinder going up. Not hugely, but nonetheless, I'm happy that I got it. Real world data for my meet in 2 weeks means that I should be able to get that same first and second attempt. What is in store for me for attempt number 3 at potentially 365 to 370? We'll see. In kilos, my targeted attempt would be 369.7, something to that effect. All right, that concludes today's session, which I'm really happy about since everything went well. Let's see how things go on Tuesday. Tuesday, day 2. Fingers crossed that this is a good session. So far, warm-ups have gone great. In case you haven't noticed, no elbow sleeve because I want to ensure I don't develop a dependency prior to the competition. And even still, warm-ups have felt great. I'm now at my working weight of 230. The suggested weight is 230 to 250, and I want to be on the conservative side because I want to make sure I don't push the issue with the elbow. Since it's feeling great, I'm going to keep it low, just get those reps in. Three sets down, 3 to go. I'm ecstatic because things are going very well, and it's amazing what victories we celebrate as we get older, because I'm just happy I'm getting through the session without pain rather than necessarily hitting a PR or lifting stronger than the last time. That's what you can expect when you get to middle age. Let's get into the next one.
Come to the bed. Come here, girl. Come to the bed. And make it wild, wild, make it wild, 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 make it wild, 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 make it wild. Make it wild, 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 make it wild.
So that's today's session, but before I summarize how it went, I do want to pay it forward and highlight some other home gym enthusiasts, including those that are competing right now. And I want to highlight my man King from Sombragym, who has his own YouTube channel, and his information will be displayed down at the bottom. He recently competed last weekend. This was his second meet. His first one was in August. He's actually down 20 pounds in weight, and yet he still improved on every lift he did, including an impressive 49-pound increase on deadlifts. So he had a fantastic meet, over 1,515 pounds total. Very, very impressive. Next week, I want to highlight my man Davion from 777 Barbell. So stay tuned for that, and let's see how things go for the rest of the week. But today's session went off without a hitch. Really fantastic bench press session. I couldn't be happier. No elbow sleeve, no pain. 5 sets of 3 at 230. Good repetitions with adequate pause. So I'm really ecstatic. I'm going to keep rehabbing this elbow with the exercises that I've been doing because they've obviously worked for me. So let's see how things go for the rest of the week. It's Thursday, and this is day 4 of the peaking phase. This is technically the 3rd training session of the week. but the last 2 weeks are combined as one. This week, instead of regular deadlifts, they have me doing 3-inch block pulls, so I pulled out the wagon wheels, which I love, and I actually don't get to use as much as I'd like, but today I have them to produce that 3-inch block lift effect. This is a top set at 325. It's interesting to do block pulls because the bar is at a better height for someone who pulls conventionally and is at 6'2" like I am. It puts me in a more comfortable position. In any case, this is my back off set, which is a double at 280. So all in all, today's session is going well, although relatively easy. Just 2 sets of block pulls, a top set at 325, and then a back off double at 280. I did some hip thrusters, then I did some seated rows. Now I'm doing dumbbell incline presses. Then I just have overhead pulley extensions, and I'm wrapping that up.
Break it wild, make it wild, 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 make it.
What's good, everyone? Saturday, day 5, last heavy bench session of the final peaking phase, and I'm looking for a win. I'm aiming for a top single of 275, which hopefully equates to my second attempt. So I'm going to work my way up through the warm-ups, hit my first attempt at 255, which is now my new first attempt goal, then hopefully hit a top single of 275. So due to the recent shoulder and elbow issues I've been dealing with for bench press, I decided it's no longer prudent to aim for a PR on bench press during competition. So I decided to be a little more conservative with my attempts, starting with my opener at 90%, which equates to 255, and then my second attempt between 95 and 97%, which would be either 270 or today's top single at 275, which is part of the programming. And hopefully, if that goes smoothly, I'll have a better idea of what I can aim for next Saturday.
Break it wild, make it wild, 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 make it wild, make it wild.
So my last warm up at 255, which is the equivalent of attempt 1, went okay. Now I'm going to work on attempting my top set for today at 275, equivalent of attempt 2.
Wild, make it wild, make it wild, 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 make it wild. Make it to the top, wild, make it wild. Make it to the top, wild, make it wild. Make it to the top, wild, make it wild.
So you saw that hot mess. It wasn't pretty, and unfortunately, even though I made the lift, it wouldn't have counted in competition because I lifted my butt off the bench. And frankly, I think I did myself a little more harm than good by completing that repetition instead of just letting myself fail it, because now my shoulder hurts to the point where I can't complete my working sets. Even lowering the weight from 230 to 205 wasn't helpful. It's just a little bit more pain that I can deal with after one repetition alone. So I think I might call bench press quits, see if I can get through the rest of the accessories, and hope that my technique sets next week are easy enough for me to go through the motions, rehabbing the shoulder, and hope that I could string together 3 successful attempts. I'm going to have to reconsider my attempts and try and be a little more conservative, all depending on how things go next week. Nonetheless, I'm just going to keep it moving because that's all I can do. And if I can be competitive for myself next week, I'll be happy with that. This is my first competition, so I really have to be reasonable with what my expectations are here and try to string together successful attempts for what I think is competitive for myself. So thanks again for all of your support and encouragement. I really appreciate it. This has kept me going. You guys are keeping me honest, and that means a lot to me. So let's see what happens for next week, and we'll take it from there.